watching Day or Night. X is for exotics, and I'm hanging out. I was gonna go outside, but it's a little too noisy out there to make this video, so I'm just gonna hang out here. I'm hanging out with my girl here. It's Lucy, it's my bearded dragon, my sweet baby. I was cleaning out her cage, and I got a question on my Instagram account, comment on a photo of my piebald from a friend who, in the past, had a YouTube channel. He was a tarantula guy, a tarantula guy, and wanted to get his first ball python. He ended up going to a reptile show, getting it. He's been going back and forth with me about how I keep my animals, my ball pythons, my heating, and everything. And he showed me his animal, and he ended up commenting on my piebald, saying, you know, beautiful animal. And a guy at the reptile show told me that if you breed two piebalds together, you get a panda ball python. If you don't know what a panda ball python is, you can go to World of Ball Pythons and check them out. But it's essentially a piebald, except instead of having normal patterns blotched on there with saddles or whatever, it's just black patterns. So it's, you know, essentially a white snake, you know, maybe with a black head or something like that, with black saddles, just sporadically placed, just like a piebald would be, except it's just black. A panda. He was excited about that, and I think he was excited for me, basically saying, you know, hey, you know, are you planning on doing this project, kind of a thing? And I'm thinking, no, because if you know anything about ball pythons and genetics, and my friend is learning, so there's no knock on him. He didn't know. We're going to get to the dealer in a second and their intent. But obviously, the piebald is a recessive gene. You breed two recessive genes together, you're not going to get a whole batch of piebalds. You're going to end up with a, you know, bunch of normals that are het for pied. So in that, I told him to go to World of Ball Pythons, check out their genetic wizard, and figure that, you know, play around with it so you can see what morphs they work with what, you know, because it's not like a lot of different snake genetics and reptile genetics are completely different than obviously arachnid genetics and breeding and production. So the dealer, I told him, they always have an agenda. Now, it was either intentional that dealer told him that because that dealer wanted him to pick up a pair of piebalds, which would have cost him well over $1,000, or the dealer unintentionally told him that because the dealer himself is ignorant and has not done his research and really truly believes that if you breed two piebalds together, you get a panda. A panda is bred, if you breed a super black pastel with a piebald, you get a panda. So either that person doesn't know that, or they were telling my friend this so he would pick up and purchase two very expensive snakes right then and there on the bat, you know, and to produce something that could never possibly be produced with that pairing. So either way, that's bad news. So if you're a beginner out there, the moral of the story is this: do your research, make sure wherever you're going to buy from, even if they're reputable, cross-check the information, because you'll find out that sometimes they make mistakes or they're misinformed, or you know, or that person is ignorant themselves and they just really don't know, or the person is trying to play you. So you want to make sure you're not getting duped. You don't want to be spend a lot of money on snakes and plan on projects that are never going to happen because it's just physically impossible, genetically impossible. So it's your money at stake. You don't want to be discouraged in buying snakes based on what other people do. So you want to be in control of everything that you do when it comes to buying your snake, breeding your snake, if that's something you want to do. Pets are one thing. If somebody tells you something is a yellow belly and it's not, and you only have a pet, in the scheme of things, it really doesn't matter unless you're just really in love with the way a yellow belly looks. But snake genetics is hard enough. Ball python genetics is hard enough. I mean, I still struggle with identifying just with my naked eye on one glance a yellow belly from a non-yellow belly, depending on what morph it is, or if it has orange ghost in it, or it has orange dream in it, or just ghost, or vanilla, you know, all that stuff, fire. It takes time to physically see it, but knowing the genetics helps a lot. So if you can't physically see it, then you can at least be conscious enough to know what certain morphs can go with what and what they can and cannot produce. As far as supers go, dominant, co-dominant. If you're going to own ball pythons, especially more than one, you're going to want to make sure you know all about those genetics. That's really, really important if you're going to be going into breeding. There's really no excuse for that dealer to have told him that, unless it was a mistake. if it was a mistake, you know, hopefully the next time my friend goes to show, he can correct him on it and, you know, call him out on it and be like, hey, look, might want to slow down with your with your project there, because if that dealer really thinks he's going to produce that a panda with 2 pieballs, he's mistaken. So that's the moral of the story. If you're a beginner, just really cross-reference everything. Don't trust anyone, even if they're reputable. Do your research, do your homework, and make sure that you're not put in a situation where you're going to come out looking like a fool or out of a lot of money based on the recommendation on someone who may be just trying to pull a fast one on you. So that's my little bit of a rant on it, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hit that like button. It helps a lot. All you guys' support is truly appreciated. If you want to shoot a question to me, you can shoot one anytime. I keep it anonymous. I will not tell anybody who you are in the video. You see, I didn't say who my friend was. It's not fair to them. So I'll see you guys on the next one. Be you and be genuine. Be safe. See you next time.